to show you everything you need to know about reading candlestick charts fast. Here's exactly what we'll be covering in this video. As always, if you want more videos more often, please hit the like button, as it allows for our team to keep producing videos on YouTube. Now, here's how you actually read a candlestick. Green candlesticks are bullish because price appreciated and went upwards for the time period. Red candlesticks are bearish because price depreciated and went downwards for the time period. This rectangle area is known as the candlestick body, or the real body. These lines that stick out above and below the candlestick body are known as the wicks, or shadows, or tails. For green candlesticks, the opening price is at the bottom of the candlestick body, and then the close price is at the top of the candlestick body. For red candlesticks, the opening price is at the top of the candlestick body, and the closing price is at the bottom of the candlestick body. The wick ends at the top represent the highest price point of the time period. The wick ends at the bottom represent the lowest price point for the time period. Now, what does the size of the candlestick body tell you? The bigger the candlestick body represents momentum gain, as price traveled a greater distance during that time period. The smaller the candlestick body represents momentum loss, as price traveled a shorter distance during that time period. When you have a very small candlestick body or close to no body, this is known as a doji, which represents indecision from buyers and sellers because price swung up and swung down during that time, but then closed close to the same price as where it opened from, which means buyers and sellers got nowhere and again shows indecision. Now, before we show this on the charts, why are candlesticks important to understand? Candlesticks tell a story and are a reflection of what buyers and sellers are doing, meaning the candlestick pattern that forms at that particular moment in time tells you a lot about what is going on in terms of the buying and selling occurring in the market. So traders will look at candlestick patterns and the movement of candlesticks to make trading decisions, which is also known as price action. Now let's go through this right on the charts. This here is the asset you are looking at, and in this case, it is the Apple stock. This here is your time frame. Right now it shows 1D, which translates to the daily time frame, meaning every candlestick you see represents 1 day of time. If we were to switch this to the weekly time frame, it would show 1W, and then every candlestick you see on screen would represent 1 week of time. If we were to switch this to the 1 hour time frame, it would show 1H, and then every candlestick on screen would represent 1 hour of time. This bar below tells you the date and time. So if you take your mouse and place it on top of this candle here, you'll see the dotted lines connecting the candle to the scale below, which shows the date as January 3rd. If you move your mouse one candle to the right, you'll see 1 day later, which is January 4th. Again, because you are on the daily time frame, every candlestick represents 1 day of time. Now this bar to the right tells you the price of the asset. Let's say you want to know the price of this green candle here. Remember, green candlesticks open below at the bottom of the rectangle here and close above at the top of the rectangle here. So if you want to know the opening price, place your mouse at the bottom of the rectangle and notice how the dotted lines connect the candle to the scale on the right, and it shows $126.05, which means when the market opened on January 6th, the Apple stock was trading at $126.05. Now if you want to know the closing price, place your mouse at the top of the rectangle. Look to the scale on the right and notice how it says $129.61, which means when the market closed on January 6th, the Apple stock finished trading at $129.61. This is why green candles are bullish, because price opened at $126.05 and closed at $129.61, meaning the Apple stock appreciated $3.56 on the trading day of January 6th. Which is bullish price action, because buying interest in the stock drove price upwards. Now the wick below is the lowest price that the Apple stock reached that day. Place your mouse at the bottom of the wick, and it shows $124.90 as the day's lowest price. Now the wick above is the highest price that the Apple stock reached that day. Place your mouse at the top of the wick, and it shows $130.30 as the day's highest price. So let's say you want to know the price of this red candle here. Remember, red candlesticks open above at the top of the rectangle here and close below at the bottom of the rectangle here. For the opening price of January 3rd, place your mouse at the top of the rectangle and it shows $130.24. For the closing price of January 3rd, place your mouse at the bottom of the rectangle and it shows $125.13. This is why red candlesticks are bearish, because price opened at $130.24 and closed at $125.13, meaning the Apple stock depreciated by $5.11 on January 3rd, which is bearish price action. The wick below is the lowest price that the Apple stock reached that day. Place your mouse at the bottom of the wick and it shows $124.21 as the day's lowest price. The wick above is the highest price that the Apple stock reached that day. Place your mouse at the top of the wick and it shows $130.93 as the day's highest price. So if you want to use the exact same charting platform we are using right now, go to tools.wisetrade.com. Now, when you see more red candles than green candles, this represents a downtrend and bearish price action and a depreciation of the asset, as sellers and bears continue to sell more of the asset, causing the push downwards. When you see more green candles than red candles, this represents an uptrend and bullish price action and an appreciation of the asset, as buyers and bulls continue to buy more of the asset, causing the push upwards. When you see a bunch of green candles together, one after the other, this shows price is gaining more upwards momentum. When you see a bunch of red candles together, one after the other, this shows price is gaining more downwards momentum. When you see a mix of both red and green candles together and sideways price movement, this shows indecision, consolidation, and a choppy market. So before we continue, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments below right now what topics we should cover next, as we always look at the comments to decide on next video topics.